Okay. Today's date is June 9th, 2020, and it's a session with Zeke Matevosian.
Okay. How about I get a copy myself? Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. You texted me an awful lot of stuff today, and a lot of stuff was coming up for me.
Uh-huh. Oh, tell me.
Okay, first of all, you're talking about Hilda and Penelope. They're having intimate sexual conversations, and you think that's good, and it looks like Penelope won't mind if Hilda's there and vice versa. Is that correct? Okay. And you say it's a dream come true, and then Penelope said, you taught a discussion, and Penelope said you were being manipulative and you really wanted to work it out, and both of them know it. And then Penelope is forcing me to get Veronica to move her stuff out, and I don't want her to have so much authority over me. Now, I want to just say right there, you and she are in some sort of relationship, whether it's defined or not. It's some sort of relationship, and she gets to have a say. She's not trying to have authority over you so much as saying, this really bothers me. And she has a valid viewpoint. Whatever her viewpoint is valid. So it's important to keep in mind that, you see, you have this fantasy. And your fantasy is playing out. But what's happening, because it's a fantasy, it's not really real life, is when somebody disagrees or doesn't want your fantasy to play out exactly the way you want it, you're having a problem, because your fantasy is the compulsion. You see what I mean? But it's not necessarily her fantasy. And even if parts of it are for her fantasy, doesn't mean all of it. Do you see what I mean?
There's overlap and there's parts that...
Yeah, there's exactly. And so when there's parts that don't agree, you have a conversation. You don't just judge, oh, she's trying to control me or manipulate me. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. Now, the thing was interesting is you started out with the Nada thing. And maybe Nada was going to be coming to this group and everything, and then it all switched to Penelope. Oh, that's right. Nada just dropped in, and Penelope made you send Peter home. So
both. She didn't like Nada because Nada wanted to come in, and I hate turning somebody away that's at my door, you know.
Well,
Nada's coming to me for help, and I send her away. I hate that Veronica makes me do that.
Well, first of all, Veronica doesn't make you do... Penelope doesn't make you do anything. You either agree to do it or not. She doesn't hold a gun to your head. She doesn't hold a gun to Nada and say, get out of here. It is your choice, and it's hard for you because you really don't want to turn anyone away. Were there specific circumstances? Was it because she came unexpectedly? So if she called another time, she'd be able to come in?
That's what she said. Dropping in unannounced is not acceptable.
But do you understand there's a good reason behind that? For example, what if you were involved in some sexual behavior? If she's used to just dropping in, so Penelope is trying to plant a seed. Hey, you can come over. Let's just plan for it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? Does that make sense, kiddo?
I mean, if I explain to Nada that way, then she did apologize for just dropping in and said, just let me
when you're completely on your own, it's just you and Hilda. Okay. But now you've got a third person involved. So it's a matter of, and I know you understand that, right? Yeah. I thought you would. Okay. And what about the Peter thing? Does she not like Peter at all?
No, she does like Peter.
What's her situation with Peter?
She does like Peter. It's just... what is it? Visa Cloud? What is that? It's I'm not sure. I gotta talk to her about it.
Now, when she said wanted you to send Peter away, was it for him never to come back, or just at that moment?
Just for that moment, because she does talk to. We have watched movie together with Peter and together, all of us there.
It could be that, there's a part of her that wants some private time with you.
Yeah.
Is that what she says?
Yeah, she didn't say that exactly. She just gestured towards him. What's he doing here? And then Peter was perfectly okay with it, so he just left.
I think a lot of it is just because you and Penelope are getting to know one another.
Yeah.
And you get to say to Penelope, Peter's my good friend. He has nothing to do. He comes over all day, every day.
Yeah.
If you want some change in the schedule, let's work it out.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? But just to have a conversation, I'm thinking you can work it out with her.
Yeah, that's it's minor detail.
I know, I know.
He's perfectly okay with it, and it's not a problem. It's just, if she can just tolerate Veronica just there for just, I really don't want to kick Veronica out. I just don't want to tell her.
Okay, what's that all about?
Well, that's just my reputation. I just don't. I think that's what's about me. I mean, if I didn't have that quality in me, I don't think that's what about me that people find appealing. That I just don't have it in me to be mean to people. When people find that out about me, that you really get that. I think that's the with the what is that? The Maslow's pyramid, the hierarchy of needs. People want to feel secure. People want to feel safe, and then the emotional safety, and like the things that Hilda living with me just knows. The people who know me that feel so safe that they can act out. They can even have some episode and yell and scream, and then I can just brush it off and say, yes, it's fine, it's okay. I don't mind.
But why in your mind does it seem like, in order to work something out with Veronica, because we talked about this before, that it means you're being mean to her?
Because she's in financial situation. Her sister, her daughter, and her mother in San Diego are relying on her financially.
But it's not being mean, and you're not saying goodbye tomorrow. You're saying, let's find a mechanism, a process, remember, where we go through your stuff slowly, and whatever we can sell, you can sell. Whatever we give away or donate, do that slowly.
I can just do that. I can just do that. Yeah, just
what's the other part about Veronica? Is it just her belongings, or Veronica herself that Penelope doesn't want to have?
What she told me, friends are okay. Female, and then when I told her Hilda wouldn't allow me female, she said that's what did she say? That's crazy that she would not allow. Why wouldn't then somebody not allow you to have fun? But doesn't matter, female or male. Why would somebody forbid you from having that? That's just I don't know what the word she uses. It's just insane. But
the thing is, you have a sexual relationship with Veronica. You don't have that with Hilda anymore. There is a difference. Yes. There is a distinction here. And so basically what she's saying is there's something, clearly a connection she feels with you, Zeke, because you have a great sexual connection, no matter what it is, even though it has some things in it that you don't want to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry. But you shared with me, and she shares that with you. But it doesn't mean that she wants to share you with everyone else or anyone else.
Okay.
So if you're part of your...
Or if it's not sexual, maybe that's what I would do. I would say none of these women is sexual, but it's just one of them. If I make sure it's with one person sexual, maybe she'll be okay with it. How about that?
Yeah, maybe. But also I would honor the idea of slowly helping Veronica find a way out of the mess she's in. Because right now she's in a mess.
Yeah.
To have all your belongings sitting in somebody's property, getting rained on.
I mean, unless do the reading, you find out she really is Cleopatra. There's some reason she's there. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. Just tell me what I'm thinking. It's not good, huh? It's just not good.
Zeke, you have a long line of women just like Veronica. The details are different, but they're all women that are extremely wounded, have a very difficult life patterns, very upsetting things.
Yeah.
And she's one more in that line. There isn't something extra special because she's been Cleopatra and somehow there's some big meaning to it.
Okay. So
and
that's what I wanted to know.
I think, I mean, we'll go in and look at it, but
I thought that that's possibly that. Well, I thought this remote possibility might say, yeah, Zeke. Higher selves are telling me there's something going on. You guys have something important to do, and you have to get them. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well, let me ask you something. If you heard, let's just say from the higher selves, that Veronica is somebody extremely important in your life, would you kick out Penelope? Would you kick out Hilda?
No, the feeling is they're all important. We're here to do something important. We're going to get that place. Funds are going to come in. I'm going to get a really nice place, and then we're all going to move in there, and all of us living together.
Okay. Okay, I've got to keep going because this is something else I want to address, but I want to go by your thing. Okay, it's your dream come true. Okay. Now, there's a part of you that feels like you're being a slave for Penelope?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, this is the scene in that movie that the lady comes in and he says, kneel. And as she kneels, at first I say, oh my God, he's making her do that. And I look at it and say, that's what she wants. She came there for that. She needs it. She's begging from him. She kneels and she really enjoys that.
So that's you.
Yeah.
You're her.
Because Hilda was there. She said, I cry. She said, that's what it is. That's what I tell them. I say, I'm nobody unless you own me. Please tell me that you own me. Otherwise, I'm just nothing. You see, why would that be? You know. That's really
well, we've dealt with a slave issue for you more than once, but we can go back in and do that.
Do I want to know what is that? Because I know, I mean, there's certainly lots of slavery, and it's obvious if you have a slave, it's a woman, then you're gonna use her for that purpose, right? It's not what slaves will use. Most of that's what you have slaves for. If you don't want them taking weeds out, you want slaves, you want to use them, right? That's what you would use them, right? This is prevalent, right?
Of course.
That they had the slave, they would have a bunch of kids from the slaves, right? Who was it? Thomas Jefferson, they all had kids from the slaves, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why you have some of the Romans and all the way back, they've always been like that, right?
Right. Okay. Yes.
So if there's been so much of that, then the stuff we see, the guy says, I went to Hollywood Boulevard and I saw a store called Leash and Collar, and it was actually a pet shop, and everybody laughs. You know what that means?
Yeah,
it's like there's so many stores in Hollywood Boulevard that are leash and collar that they're not meant for pets, they're meant for people owning each other, right? It's prevalent. It's
it is. It is.
Is this the reason it's prevalent? Do you think that there's been so much of that in our past lives?
Absolutely.
There you
100%.
go. Okay. So that's confirmation. So maybe that's why I'm like there's this stuff going on with me and all a bunch of them that's happened in the past. And then we're living it again. We're living it too because it's in our souls, right?
And I have something to talk about with that. Okay. All right, I'm just trying to. Okay. You're just telling me how you're being honest about it. And this is what I want to talk to you about. It says, I'm fulfilling my destiny.
Yeah.
And this gathering, I think you meant, of these women is here to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Now, what I wanted to talk about was, let me see if there's anything else. It gets back to what you were just saying about the soul. It isn't fulfilling your destiny, it's fulfilling your fantasy.
Yeah, okay.
It's different. It's fulfilling your compulsion. That fantasy is so powerful. And what I got when I was walking this morning, and I'm sure we'll get more on it now, was that your soul is carrying its experiences really deeply from a lot of lives, Zeke. And it is so deeply entrenched that it's as if you have to go through the compulsion to fulfill that compulsion or that fantasy in order to move past it. In other words, let me give you an example. And you might have heard me talk about it. Years ago, I was in Vermont and I was writing my second book, and I got from the higher selves to call in divine spine. Have you heard me talk about it?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And that you found this, get hurt your spine, you really needed that. Yeah.
Well, the higher selves told me that there was no other way but experiencing that for me to reach into the deep fear I had of physical vulnerability. Because up until that time in my life, it just didn't come up for me. I worked on so many things. I never worked on, I'm afraid I'm physically vulnerable. I never have broken a bone. I've never been seriously injured. I've never had reason to be afraid for my physicality. And so they said, your soul created this scenario, protected you by doing the divine spine, but it had to experience the fall to bring up that fear. Okay, and this is the sample or the example the higher selves gave me this morning when I was getting all those texts from you just before I walked. And I amalgamated, and they explained that your soul is creating this situation with this big compulsive fantasy that you have, because it's in a way enabling you to experience it so that you can eventually heal it. It is not.
I'm supposed to overcome it.
It's not defeating it or overcoming in a way like it's to move past it. In other words, because what they said is, and I got this briefly, so we'll get into it more, I'm sure now. What they explained was, if you're deeply involved in, and it's already starting to happen, those examples we've already talked about, you're involved with your compulsion, your fantasy, you bring in other people, and they don't match it perfectly, right? Yeah. So there's discord, there's a problem. Now, every time you have this discord, it gives you an opportunity to work through the parts of the compulsion that are inflexible or that are judgmental of others or that make something painful for you, whatever it is, and it'll be different in many different situations. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's going to become an opportunity for you to realize that the compulsion and the fantasy is just that. We've worked on stuff similarly to it, but it's the need to express the fantasy in the everyday life.
So the only purpose of it is that there's no other purpose of it other than just to work out that issue inside of me.
Well,
there's no higher purpose to it.
There is, in some ways, a higher purpose in this way. Okay. You are a fifth dimensional, you are a caring, loving person, and you do give out your energy, your caring, your support, just what you were saying earlier. So these very wounded people that you meet, they're actually getting a tremendous amount of help for you. But it's a small microcosm of what you're actually able to do. In other words, even if you get a new place and you house it with 18 wounded women, it's still, it is smaller than you are actually capable of doing. The other thing is that, and I think we talked about this briefly the other day, when you do have a place like that, is your purpose just to have them sleep with you?
No, I genuinely want to help.
Just because there's a fine line between someone who wants to help and a cult leader. Because remember, you've had this idea of the Messiah, and I don't want it to shift, I mean, my preference is, and it might, into I'm the kind of a cult leader. Not that you would use those terms, but do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you see that other video I sent you?
I watched whatever you sent me.
Huh?
I watched what you sent me.
This one I sent you about this girl who's giving me a massage, and I'm telling her that she's God.
Yes, I saw that one.
And I said that's my true purpose. And she says, why do you say that? I said, because I'm hoping one day you'll actually believe it. And that's my secret agenda, is have people around me that I worship and serve that they're God. And that's my way of having them get it. Because if you get treated like God, and then maybe eventually you get it, that's who you are.
Well, in its purity, I think the idea is great, but unfortunately, it is coupled in with your fantasy about sleeping with various women.
Yeah.
You know, and so it doesn't come across in the purity that I know in your heart. That I know in your heart is there. Do you see what I'm saying? Because so much of what you do when you reach out for the women has the underpinning of, I want to have sex with them.
Yeah.
So it loses the sense of purity, and this is where your compulsion gets in the way of the mission. And are you understanding it?
Yeah, it's just there's a part of it that I've sent. I don't know if I've sent it to you. I'll send it to you later.
But I watched that whole video. Trust me, I watched it, and I wanted to talk to you about it. Because that's how I see you, Zeke. I see you as this very loving, caring person who really cares about humanity. But this compulsion, this fantasy that you have gets in the way because there's other agendas going on.
That's right. It's just something, I think I shared it with you. This is how it happened. When Kate, the original cuddler, moved in, I signed up with the cuddling course that her website was doing, the cuddler's online training. Okay, I actually have it on my phone right now. I can give you the password, and that's what I do. A lot of these cuddlers, I send them the site and give them the passwords like a gift. You know, watch this online course, and then and there's a part of that course that I have on there that I have that text. I can send it to you, and I send it to all of them. That it describes, that's what it is, that's what a lot of wounded people, when they, there's this taboo about being touched because, that when someone needs to be touched in a certain way, and they're given permission to ask for it, and there's all these rules about it. That's what the course is about, you know, that you
give permission to touch.
The consent. There's all these things, that different things of how you get consent, how you get permission. Each one is different, and then that it changes. Like maybe you feel comfortable with something right now. Or you don't, and then a little later, now it's okay, now you can do that, I give you permission to do that. And then the whole thing, and then in that safe environment, when you really feel safe with somebody, okay, you can do that if you want, and it's the whole thing. And then something happens, you get actualized, that when you have a desire in you that you've never had fulfilled, and you ask for it, and she says okay, and she gives it to you, and you actualize. And that's what happened to me 2 years ago, is when I really got that. I was,
because you were given permission, and now you're giving other people permission, and you don't trespass, so you don't force, which is great. Hi.
How are you? So
And I think that's all good, Zeke. I don't mean to denigrate it in any way.
yeah. There's just so much to it. I really want to send that to you if you haven't received that, because if you get that, oh, there's 5 text forms. Oh my God.
What?
Okay. Oh, let me see.
So basically what you're saying is that you want to make people feel better by actualizing or supporting their sexual proclivities.
Yeah. There's something to that. I really think that
there is something to it. There is something to it, and I absolutely see. I see that in some ways, just having acceptance can help them feel better about themselves.
Yeah, because there's so much that it's right there, you know.
I understand, Zeke. You don't have
to find this to send it to you, because if you see it written out the way
Zeke, I wasn't born yesterday. I do understand the importance of that, and it's everywhere. I mean, you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and people accept you, even though you've been, bullied and stamped on and, called a loser because you're an alcoholic. This is a group that understands. That kind of acceptance is very important, and I do not want to minimize it. And so basically what you're saying is that you want to actualize yourself and others through the sexual arena. All right, let's be really clear on that, because okay. All right, well then I want to hear
this is it. I found it. This long thing.
Well, you can forward it to me.
I really want to send you. Somebody said don't text really long things and through.
Oh, I don't care. I can't read it today.
Yeah, I know, because I am. Have this.
I will read it, but I just want to understand. So you want to okay. Now here's the thing. A few weeks ago, your dream was to make money as
actor.
on the internet, social media. You wanted to be global. You wanted to be on TV everywhere. Are you shifting your dream now to?
I need the money from that to get the property, right?
I see.
Money for the property. How would I get money for the property? Right? It's a conglomerate. It's a whole thing.
No, I understand. I'm just, I just want to see what the higher selves have to say, because it seems.
If it's delusional, just say so. If you think it's delusional,
I think there's some.
So some aspect of it is delusional.
Some aspect of it is delusional, but there's real general desire there, that genuine desire. I can see that, and I've always been able to see that with you, Zeke. I'm just trying to. There's also a lot of conflict, because on the one hand, this is a beautiful thing with Penelope and Hilda, but then every other text was Penelope's trying to manipulate me. She's trying to control me. And so there's a lot of conflict here too. It's like the dream isn't perfect because it's just a dream. And so part of my concern is, let's bring it into a place where it can be a real dream, not a delusion. Where you understand the other person and talk things through. And there's going to be compromise needed.
And this thing about that, she's serious about signing up PS College, getting that class with it. The thought of both of us studying psychology together, and that class in particular, abnormal psychology, because we're driving middle of the night, and there's a lady, like 2 a.m., there's a lady walking the crosswalk, and what do you see? Do you see something? Do you see something? I mean, just the fact that she's walking 2 a.m., that's something, but I don't see it. That we can spot a school that's a mile away. What is that? Schizophrenia? What is it? Then once we get that class, maybe we'll take other classes together, that we'll be doing that. There's a couple I see at the park, the bird watchers, and the cedar pugs, a whole bunch of all like 100 different species of birds. There, geese, dogs, all kinds of things. And they're having such a problem. Like they're having territory issues there. They're having mating issues there. They're having that. Look at that. And imagine you have that with people. All these people around. You might see how fascinating that is. You know.
It is fascinating, and I think in time you're going to, especially with all the work you're doing on yourself, you're going to start to open up your abilities to see.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure when you start seeing things that you don't lock into them. You don't put those people into a box.
Oh, yeah. Because that's what I get. Because once people say, "Oh, you schizophrenic,"
Yeah.
I know.
So
I know what that
you
is.
hardly know these people, but you might get a psychic hit at some point that somebody has an issue with this, but you don't want to make them two-dimensional.
Yeah.
They're this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
to
just
have the
something-
bigger
that's just-
viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because and you've suffered, as you just mentioned, you've suffered being put into a box.
Yeah.
And, so that's and haven't we all? So because I have also my own boxes. Okay, so let's get started then. All right, I want to see where we're going with this. Tell me, because I've taken up most of the time. So tell me. Specifically, because I want to do what's important to you.
Yeah.
Specifically, you want to find out about, is there a bigger meaning?
Yeah, if there is. I mean, it's obviously some. I'm going through with it. Like I mean, like it's just the fact that they're both there. I mean, that's part of it. I think that's not delusion. It's actually happening. They're both fully. It's completely consensual. They're both happy with it. I mean that's something there. Just that alone,
Well, first of all, you creating it from your own energetic field, your own soul. You're creating it.
Yeah.
You be clear on that. It isn't the universe bringing it in, and boy, what does it mean now that the universe has brought it in? You've brought it in.
Yeah, but
And you're
why
all-
would it be my soul in the first place? I didn't consciously choose it.
It has nothing to do with conscious choice.
Yeah, so it's there.
It's at the soul level. We've just
in the first place.
because
I went through it in past lives.
Yes, and
why did I go through it in past lives?
Well, Zeke, you probably should listen to some of those sessions again because we have addressed this in part.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always new stuff that comes up, so there could be things. But yes, we are 100% responsible for creating our outer reality.
Yeah.
And you have co-creations with Penelope and Hilda and Veronica and all sorts of people.
Yeah.
So you are bringing this in. It isn't the universe is trying to tell you. Yeah.
All of us are.
They're all agreeing. They're all agreeing.
Yeah.
It's all
I'm
co-created.
not making them do it.
No.
Right?
No.
We're all agreeing to do it together.
Yes. But that doesn't mean that it's the universe is suddenly shining light down on you all, and it's, this is, the Messiah is here.
Yeah.
It's not like that, Zeke.
Can't be?
No, you're a microcosm. I mean, there are many people that I work on that have things like this happen.
Yeah.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
And me too.
Yeah. I'm just thinking that if the reason it's happening, because it happened in past lives, and it happened in all of our past lives, and it happened in our past lives for a reason, right? In all of our past lives, and it's manifesting now.
But please don't confuse the mind choices with what happens. You get born into a life. You would have chosen the lives you were in. You would have chosen the situations, the conditions, and the parents. Co-creation.
Yeah.
Because you have a plan, you have an idea of whatever, and there's a million different reasons why souls choose wherever they go.
Yeah.
You get into that life, you go deaf, dumb, and blind. You don't remember or recall, here's the purpose I had for this life.
Oh.
You hopefully have set up the situation the parents, the co-creations with people, that whatever you've planned would manifest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would happen, sometimes it would happen a little bit, sometimes a lot, sometimes not at all.
Yeah.
So, but meanwhile, you're in that life, you're going through the process of learning and experiencing, feeling, growing, thinking, everything. And then you lay aside the body, and all of that becomes part of the soul.
Yeah.
So it's not the consciousness, well, I picked that life because of this. You may have picked it at the soul level because you wanted to accomplish this here.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen because you were in a life that you tried your best, but there was no way. You had no conscious knowledge of what you picked.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe you set it up just right and all the pieces came together, or maybe it was a struggle, but you did eventually do whatever it was you wanted to do. But meanwhile, you're going through life, eating, procreating, raising kids, making a living, being a soldier, being a slave owner, being a slave. You go through the life doing all these things. So it's not a straight beeline. It's a lot of confusion, soul scrambles. We take in all these soul scrambles, right?
Yeah.
I'm
trying to figure out what the point you everything you said is clear, but I'm trying to get to the point you're trying to make.
Oops. I guess I was trying to, because it felt to me as if
everything you said was true. That was the truth you just said.
I was trying to respond to something you said. And maybe
I said that the stuff that happened in the past lives that is making me do this happened for a reason.
Right, but it sounded as if there was one reason, and I'm trying to explain that it's multiple reasons, and multiple confusion about what the reasons were, and multiple mind changes. I mean, we're in the free will.
Yeah. Okay.
So kingdom. So it's just not one reason, I guess I was trying to address.
What difference is it if it's one reason, many reasons? Okay, it's many reasons. I have no problem with that.
No, I didn't think
There's many reasons why all this stuff happened in past life, and it's manifesting now.
That's right.
Right?
Yes. I'm sorry if I kind of misinterpreted what you said. I didn't mean to.
But that's my point. There's many reasons why all this stuff happened, and it's manifesting now. And let's see what the higher self say. We'll clear it up. Maybe that's the distinction. Okay.
What?
So maybe because I got it. Because I'm thinking it's a divine purpose why it happened. The stuff that happened in the past lives that's making it manifesting now is some divine purpose. And maybe you're saying no, it's just stuff that happened. There's nothing holy about it. It's just stuff that happened. Is that it? Maybe is that it?
Maybe it's a little bit of that misunderstanding.
Because that's what I'm thinking. Spending it, that's what I'm thinking. There's some divine purpose in what I'm doing. It happened in the past lives, it's coming up now for some purpose.
My feeling, and we'll see what the higher self says, is that you literally want to deal with the past life crap that we all take on, the misunderstandings and the soul scrambles. And so you're bringing, whatever you're bringing to yourself here is an opportunity to look at it. And that's exactly what you're doing and what you've done for a long time. You're looking at these things, you're trying to understand, you're trying to release, you're trying to heal. It isn't a divine purpose, it's your divine purpose, your own inner self. We all carry the divine, as you know, the pure soul essence, and your fifth dimensional self is in the divine will kingdom. So from that way, it is your divine purpose for yourself.
Oh, it is. Well, just that the distinction that's my divine purpose was not the divine purpose.
Well, maybe I'm actually misstating that. The higher selves are going, wait a minute, just a minute.
Because that's what I got.
You carry your own divine. And you at the soul level, the human soul level, works with the divinity within. And you get impressed, you get they work together even though you may not hear your higher selves or your pure soul essence. They do, because you've given permission. So you are taking up the impresses and you're moving forward with your patterns, moving forward with the healing, moving forward with the learning, the growing, the expression, the expansion, anything and everything. So it's like you're working with your own inner divinity.
I'm amalgamating all the time.
Exactly.
And that's what if I'm constantly giving permission for the higher selves, originating souls, my pure soul essence to come in and do what they want, and this is what I'm getting.
Which is exactly what happened with me and the whole thing with the back.
Okay.
They said, call in Divine Spine. I heard them. I did it. I had the fall, and then afterward they explained to me that
maybe the distinction is that the reason I'm going through for this just for me to work it out. I'm thinking it's some higher purpose beyond that. I don't know.
Yeah, the reason is to work it out because
we're
humans. Okay, yeah. We're here in part to demonstrate to others how to the higher concepts. Okay, in whatever form, and everybody is to demonstrate, to role model, to teach, to whatever, infuse the higher energies.
Oh.
And you've heard me use the analogy, we can't save a drowning man if we can't swim. No. So we're going through a process of healing ourselves first. And it is...
Maybe
that's the mission.
I got it. The stuff all of us, the group of us went through all of our lives, and this is, we're here to do this and to get over it somehow.
To heal and balance.
Yeah, okay.
To grow, expand, to understand, get to the deeper levels of...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make a little...
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I understood.
All right. I'll just make sure I turn my phone on.
Oh, hold on. You take it back. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay, so let's quiet the mind. And we want to, now the client is going to be coming out at some point, so I'll just pause when they come out.
No, just go right ahead, I don't know.
Well, it's hard for me to focus when they know there's someone at the door. Okay, so we're going to quiet the mind. We're going to focus on the dual pure soul essence, really waking up that beautiful energy, building it, growing it, encompassing it within, throughout the totality of who we are at the body, soul, mind. I'm asking that you and I be joined in one accord at the pure soul essence level, that we amalgamate with the totality of our higher selves, individually and collectively, and I would like any other higher selves from any other realm or direction to please come in and join us. I immediately saw Marius here. Okay, that was unexpected. You know Marius was, right? Yeah, he's here. But there's other energy here present too, and I ask that we focus on the originating source of all there is, connecting at the conscious level, giving permission at the conscious level for that vast resource of amazing, powerful, purest, most perfect, most potent point of power to move into our free will arena. As you know, it cannot trespass. But by focusing on it, we are giving it permission, and it's our guarantee it is going to be helping us in the highest ideal and in accord with your divine plan. I'm activating the rainbow bridge energy. I'm activating the tuning fork energy. And we have the platform being set up. Marius is here.
Hey, Marius, Kim and I go way back.
Yes, you do. And that's about what he was going to say. We know each other very well. Okay. Please understand that there is a divine purpose to all that you do. You have made commitment at that fifth dimensional level to help the 4 lower dimensions, the 4 lower kingdoms, evolve. Every movement, every choice you make at that inner level is guided by this deep mission that you carry. The confusion becomes one of the interpretation or the misunderstanding that the divine mission that you are on is okay, let me see exactly how he wants to say this. Is yours alone, and that you are playing out a role of a God or a Messiah. Because you are one that has had very deep connections to that fifth dimensional self, that fifth dimensional mission, there has been this tendency to, especially with the presence of the Messiah concept infused upon the planet's force field, there has been a misunderstanding and a misconception that somehow you are playing out a unique role. We have covered this, or it has been covered in a prior session, that all the fifth dimensionals carrying the dual soul nature, and there are several million of them upon the planet, are working together to carry out the greater mission of helping the planet and the 4 lower kingdoms evolve. This takes multiple participants. You are one. It, however, in no way minimizes the role that each one plays out. This is not our message to bring to you any kind of lessening of the importance and significance of what you do. It is simply for you to understand that you are part of a bigger whole, and as the bigger whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Working in as a whole, as part of the whole, you have a significant place. And it is important for you to understand that you are significant, but you are not you're not alone, and you are going to play it out in the manner in which you have chosen. At this point in time, you have chosen the manner to play out this scenario through the sexual nature. Please understand that this means you will reach people whose sexual nature, for whatever reason, carries wounds, hurts, distortions, abuse patterns. And you are going to be instrumental in helping those people to move into a state of greater self-acceptance and self-love. We wish you to understand this is an important and significant role that you are playing. It is similar to this would be those fifth dimensionals that choose to be in gangs or some sort of criminal element or some sort of very primitive or cruel type of culture. They choose this kind of role, as you are, for two purposes. One is to help the greater purpose of to help these individuals.
Yeah.
The second purpose is to promote healing at your own soul level.
Yeah.
It's that promoting of healing at your own soul level that we wish you not to forget about, for the choice you have made to play it out in this arena is because you as well carry the hurts and wounds in this area.
Yeah.
We are giving you this, we are sharing this with you, for even though at some level you understand, we only wish to clarify and remind. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That this is the case. You are in a process of remembering all that you are. This process will shift and change, grow and expand as you move forward. We do invite you or suggest that you not lock into where the process is going. For we do not wish for you to add disappointment or discouragement when perhaps the vision of having a bigger place doesn't come into fruition. And it is important for you to see where you are in the moment to moment as this unfolds, because the help you are giving for the individuals that you are helping is substantial. And it may not, okay, he's not saying it's not, okay, it's really important, but it may not grow into this bigger place, but understand what he's trying to say, and I'm just going to say it, is that the help you give to these women, they're going to then take it out and help others. It's as if you're building a network. And there are networks already out there. The Cuddler Network, for example, that you have sent me the information from. But you're adding a tremendous amount of energy, the fifth dimensional energy and the higher understanding, the concepts and all of that, the energies that you're adding to this network. So even if the bigger place doesn't happen, yes, please understand that what you give one person doesn't stop there. It moves on.
Sure.
Okay. This is Janet. I know it's easy to say, oh sure, but I'm glad they're saying that to you, because it's important you know that. Okay. He's surrounding you, and he's with the rest of the higher heart consciousness group. He's surrounding you with the divine love, the higher heart consciousness energy, and just pouring on the appreciation and the love for you, the gratitude for the help that you're giving. Now, he wants to also remind you, this is making me cry. He wants to remind you of is it Mary Magdalene? The prostitute? Yeah. He wants to remind you of Mary Magdalene because he did to her on this planet, because it didn't play out like this on other planets. He did to her what you are in essence attempting to do to these other women. To give her, to validate her, to love her, to respect her, no matter what her role in that society was. She played out the role of prostitute, and he was giving to her, and he wants to remind you. Yes. Yes. Please release. Please release. And I don't know why that's funny. But please release all of that.
Oh my God. I don't mean you don't get it. My eyes until I get it, he gets it.
He's not laughing.
He's not like that. Drink some water, come on. Pull yourself together, come. Wait till the guys at the Valley Vineyard find out about this. That's fine. Alright.
It's not. I don't see the humor.
Yeah.
Myself, but it was a very special moment
Right.
because he was validating you.
Yeah.
He was validating you and this whole mission. And the laughter tells me that there's a part of you that still isn't connected to the higher mission. But that's okay. We don't have to have every piece connected. That's part of the process, okay? That was a very special moment. It brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it in. I've loved it. And I thank you for the opportunity for being a part of it. Okay. Mary Magdalene came in, and I'm very hesitant to bring her forward.
Yeah.
I have to say, she's here, and I know she wouldn't take any offense. It's not her as Mary Magdalene, it's her at the fifth dimensional level.
Yeah.
She would never take any offense, but it's just Janet, I'm just cautious.
Yeah, I know.
But she came in and... Okay. She is going to lead you, or lead me to lead you through a healing.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
That's it.
I know, I'm just trying to see where she's going to, because I've not had somebody else lead me through, exactly like this, so I want to just see where she's going with this. She's saying, we knew each other those 2,000 years ago, and you had disdain for me even then, and she is explaining that part of the disdain was what was present in that society, and she didn't take it personally because the disdain was what was everywhere. It was an impersonal thing based on the societal measures. For Christ to treat her the way he treated her was an extremely healing energy for her, and it was enabling her to heal at the soul level all that pain and sorrow. So she wants you to begin with releasing the disdain and the beliefs behind the disdain that you carry. It isn't important for us to understand every past life, every reason it is not about the reason. It is simply letting go of the disdain. Because
I had disdainful prostitution back then. Is that what it is?
yes, and you're still carrying it.
Oh.
That's what turns it into laughter. When you don't carry respect and caring and equality towards someone, then some of the things that can happen are funny. You know, there's a lot of cruel humor. Do you see what I mean? And you don't mean to be cruel. That's not in your conscious mind, Zeke. Please understand.
Yeah.
But she's come through because she's saying you've got that in there. And
Okay.
everybody has it in there. I mean, we've all been in this kind of position. It's not only you. So she wants you to release disdain for the slave, disdain for the prostitute, disdain for all those that don't play out to your level of expectation, your level of right and wrong or shoulds and shouldn'ts. She wants you to release any issues of belief systems around there, why you believe that, and a lot of it is we grow up in societies where we get it at the nipple. We see our parents, we see our family, our friends, we see the authorities, disdain, cruelty, all of that, making fun of. I mean, think of bullying, think of, just so much cruelty because it was funny. There was lack of respect for others, and they became two-dimensional, and it became funny.
Yeah.
And so I want you to release that, all of those belief systems, those experiences, and it was present back then, and it was present in many, many lives, as it was for all of us.
Yeah.
And I've never worked on this for myself, but I am actually going to work on it for myself too, because I'm not free of it. The higher selves are very clear. This is stuff we've all picked up from these really low frequency evolutionary type times and societies, the people, okay? So I want you to release the disdain, the humor, and the cruelty, all tied up in making these people who are less than in some way two-dimensional. There's a lack of caring, there's a lack of empathy, there's a lack of respect, there's a lack of understanding. Now for you also carry a big part of you that does care.
The sees it as divinity, actually.
Yeah, you see it not necessarily as divinity, but you categorize that too sometimes, but you see there's another big part of you that really does care, really does appreciate. But what we're doing here is we're approaching that part of you that's still there, that's in conflict. Yes, because the laughter is coming from this part of you. And
I laugh, but I'm not myself even aware that that's the cause of the laugh.
Exactly, which is why we're happy Mary Magdalene came in.
Okay.
And not only that, I want to work on it for myself. I don't know that I have a big pattern, but the higher selves are clear that we've all taken in this kind of viewpoint. I mean, think about people who couldn't wait for a hanging. Look at him, he's shitting in his pants. There's a delight with cruelty. We've all been in that kind of very primitive, low-level kind of society. And we carry that even though we're not aware. And so there's no judgment here from Mary Magdalene.
I know,
There's none. She's saying, hey, let's get to the bottom of this.
Let's do it. Please,
Okay. So we want to release the humor around cruelty, around disregard, around lack of empathy, around seeing people, and all the beliefs behind it. The beliefs and the experiences and the traumas and the learning and the all of that you've been through, that have developed that side of you. Remember that all like thoughts, when we are going through life, they are magnetically attracted to like thoughts.
I just need to explain that the reason I find the fact that Jesus is not one single reference to sexuality referring to Jesus in the entire Bible. The thought of Jesus maybe when he was a teenager masturbating is funny to me. The thought of Jesus being with a prostitute is funny to me. That's what made it funny, is Jesus having sexual experiences when he's made out, and when you talk to people in Christians, he's like never had a single sexual thought in his mind, but then he's going around hooking up with prostitutes. And
well, he never hooked up with her. He just
no, he
didn't have. And on other planets they marry.
Yeah.
She stands by his side. She's also fifth dimensional.
Yeah.
But on this planet, they didn't have that kind of relationship. At least that's per my understanding. But in any case, even that is a distortion on the humor. I mean, even that's not funny to me. But in any case, I want you to keep releasing anything and everything related to that.
Yeah.
What you know in your conscious mind is just a part of it. So maybe there's more underneath there that you aren't aware of.
Okay, so release it.
Okay, so I want you to release. I want to call in divine clarity of vision, divine release, divine flush to help you flush this out.
Yeah.
I want to really call on the self-identities. Because when you laugh, it's still at someone's expense. If you're laughing at Jesus, then you're laughing at the expense of all those Christians who believe he had no sex. Okay? It's laughter at somebody else's expense, and it's very common out there.
Yeah.
It's very common, and boy, will some people just laugh along with you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't agree. It doesn't fit with what the other part of you that is just so genuine, wants to help, really cares. So I want you to release the laughter at other people's expense. And whatever that comes from, the lack of seeing them as full people, the lack of respecting them or accepting them, the lack of understanding, whatever it comes from, known and unknown, I want you to release it, Zeke.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I want to release that. Yes, that's why they kicked me out of the group, because I was laughing all the time at the Christian men's prayer group.
And remember, we talked about that people who are involved, that's where they need to be at the moment, and is much more expanded than where they came from.
Yeah.
They're on their way of learning and growing.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to laugh at their expense. So let's just keep going. Let me watch here. Okay. I'm seeing a life where you were like I want to say like a court jester.
Comedian.
Yeah, but it wasn't what I think of normally. It may not have been on this planet. You were a court jester, and you played out the role. There was a lot of cruelty done to you. You and others they'd have like games or I don't know, I've never watched Survivor, so I can't say if it's like Survivor, but really tough games where there's a lot of hurt and injury.
Yeah.
I feel like you were a little person. You could have actually been, and that made it all the more funny, right? Yeah. Because they would give you things to do, challenges, you and the others, where there's no way, you didn't have strong, and it was just so funny and so cruel and so horrible. Yeah. But you chose that life. Now, that part of you was humiliated, abused, beaten down, made fun of for somebody else's pleasure. Very hurt, very wounded, and I want you to release all of that, because coming from that is some of the abuse that you want. Because there was, at least in this life, it feels as if it was so bad that you almost had to become one of them. If you can't beat them, join them. Yeah. In other words, you had to find the humor in it. You had to make fun of yourself. You had to denigrate yourself. I don't know exactly.
No, I can see it. That
Can
even
you?
though if it hurts, that the whole bunch of them are getting off so much laughing at me that I would actually enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's certainly part of this life.
That I
That
would
you've
actually
mixed.
ask for it. I would do
Yes,
it intentionally
yes,
to get it.
yes, you have it. That's it. That's it. It just was so much a part of this life. It was
So
the
like
only
that.
way. I mean, the only way you heard anything nice was people laughing at you, getting joy at.
Yeah.
So you started to thrive in it
Yeah. Yeah.
and look for it.
Yeah, that's who I am. That's me.
Because here you are, a midget. Where are you going to get anything from anyone else?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is really important. I want you to release the trauma of that life because it carries so much trauma,
Yeah.
so many belief systems, so many self-identities, and laughter was tied into it completely.
Yeah.
It wasn't
like
just the
yeah.
slave, where you were mistreated and all that. Now that isn't just. I shouldn't say just. This is where this added the humor to it, this
Yeah.
life. So I really want you to release, and you weren't the only one. I'm seeing several, like maybe 5 or 6 others that were involved in this whole scenario.
Yeah.
Not always together, sometimes paired up, sometimes individually, sometimes the group, but there were others. It was it reminds me a little bit of the Roman times with the lions. And
Yeah, the lions, the gladiators.
yeah. The audience is watching and getting off on the cruelty.
Yeah.
Oh my God, awful, awful. So I just want you to release as much as you can, and I want to call in divine love. Mary Magdalene and Marius are both sending you a tremendous amount of love and understanding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. This is it.
It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
They really want you to heal this pattern.
Yeah.
It is, and actually they appreciate that they have been able to bring this to you.
Yeah.
And they are just encouraging you. I'm seeing the reverse fans being set up to help pull out, because this is in large part where the humor and the cruelty have been put together.
Yeah.
Okay? And so we want to release as much of that.
Yeah, I keep seeing Jeremy telling me, it's funny though, and then I say, yeah, but that doesn't make it right, but I kind of agree, but it is really funny, Jeremy.
Because you have the
funny.
other side. You see the other side.
Yeah.
You're carrying both.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you have a life like that, it empowers that one part of you, but it doesn't touch the other part that's just as real, just as genuine. So there's conflict about it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're working to release, the terrible conflict. And it eats you up underneath, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to be cool.
No, of course you don't.
But it's funny though.
Well, it is funny from this part of you.
It's just so funny. It's just so funny, that's the thing. How can something that's so funny be bad? I know it's cool, it's just so funny.
It's because this part of you doesn't have any sense at all that it's bad.
Yeah, it does actually. It knows it's bad, but it's so funny.
Okay, well, let's just keep releasing that connection, because this is actually very important.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we'll get it all in one go.
Yeah.
What time is it? Oh my God. Well, okay, so I want you to just keep releasing, keep releasing, keep releasing the idea that cruelty is funny. And known and unknown, anything and everything attached to that, and there is definitely hurt attached to it.
Not necessarily cruelty. The thing about the strict religious type involving in sexuality. I keep telling people, you know what you're doing. You can get a nun to give you a blowjob. It'll be the best blowjob you've ever gotten. And I find that to be tremendously funny, because I say, well, she's the one who really needs it. She's the one who really wants it, because she's not getting it. And you let her get her to that point that she acknowledges it, and you give it to her. So it's just you just gotta get it the best from that. And the fact that it's so true, and it's so funny for some reason. That's why. And then why is that cruel? Because she does really need it. She does really want it.
Well, first of all, you're projecting onto the nun,
Yeah.
any nun,
Yeah.
that's what they need and want. But that isn't her.
Imagine
That's
they
not
want it
necessarily
because
her
that's
choice.
just a human being and
No,
she
no,
does
no,
what she
Zeke,
needs.
Zeke,
Yeah.
you're making assumptions here and projecting them. Sometimes people's souls go through a life like a nunnery or monastery
Yeah.
or something like that because something has happened in their past lives that they want to experience that.
Yeah.
You don't know. This is something that the soul is choosing for itself,
Yeah.
and it's. Don't project onto everyone that
Sure,
it's
sure.
everything. One thing is right for everyone.
Yeah.
You know that's not the case. Every soul is making its own choices. We've been around for hundreds and thousands of lives, and can we choose a life of celibacy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it funny, or someone who is, really needs something else. That's your projection onto that soul. So I really want you to release these belief systems that put everyone in one barrel.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, is it true for some? Probably.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right.
I know.
Okay? So I really want you to release all of that stuff, all the belief systems wrapped up, because that is really making these people unidimensional.
Yeah.
That's what happens with the cruelty.
Yeah.
It's just a slave. Who cares if they get chewed up by a lion?
No, that's never like that. Never like that.
I'm not
It's
saying
just-
you
it's
are
just-
in this life, but you've had lives where it is like that.
Yeah.
We've all had lives where it is like that, where people aren't seeing as full human beings.
Yeah.
Who cares? They're just this, that, or the other. They're just the riffraff.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's just I see so much of it with that guy Willie, who had to do Bible study at my house, at the church people, at the Jehovah's Witness. I see so much resonance with me. I'm so attracted to the religious, the strict religious types. And then the therapist said it. Zeke, you just go on there to make fun of them.
You're using them
Yeah.
to
But I think
as a
there's
joke.
more to that. I think I am really drawn to the.
It's because you have this conflict. You have both inside you.
Yeah.
And I just want you to think about the part that we're working to release today, and I think we're going to end up doing it more because.
Yeah, we're going to do more of this. It's just I need to mention is why do I have so much. Why do I hang around religious people? So why do I need to be around religious people so much? Jehovah's person knocks on the door. I said, "Come in, bring some more here." I see Jehovah's people here witnesses. I said, "Please come to my house, have your meeting here." I do that all the time. Peter's neighbor is Jehovah's Witness. I have talking to him all the time and his wife. Is that for some reason
there's a
I'm
part
so
of you that
connected to that.
There's a part of you that really resonates
Yeah.
with the spiritual life.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have this part that makes fun of.
Yeah.
You really do. You see it in a unidimensional kind of way.
Yeah, and I'm always trying to explain to them that the what's in the Bible isn't really the truth. That Paul disseminated the message, and the Council of Nicaea and the Emperor Constantine, that they all redacted it, changed it for their agenda for giving power to the church. And I'm trying to explain to them that the truth they have inside of them and the light inside of them has more. That's the truth, and then they themselves are the source. It's not the book that outside of them. I'm trying to get that across to them. For some reason, I'm obsessed with that.
Well, that's part of your need to share the bigger story.
Yeah.
But it is important to understand that we lead the horse to water. We can't force it to drink. It's not about ramming it down their throats.
Yeah.
That's not our job.
Yeah.
But it comes from the place of wanting to help.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, I have to.
Yeah, let's stop and then do another session.
Yeah, because this is. I think we're on to something pretty key here.
Yeah.
I just want to okay. The cocoon is going around you, and Mary and Marius are definitely here with you. They haven't left. They are continuing to send you, you know, I feel enlightenment. I feel expansion. I feel certainly a lot of healing and love energy going in from them, and it's all moving into that cocoon. Your own higher selves are here, of course. Okay. Way to go, Zeke.
Yeah, that was good.
Wow.
Best session ever.